Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Shit Tuesday on a Wednesday, and not on my channel and not my show. So, hi. Just so real. This is just so real. Okay, so for those who don't know, my channel has a strike on it. For the moment, it's appealed, but hasn't gone through yet. Might not. If it doesn't, then other people are going to have to do the show, and it's not officially mine. So, such is life. I'm just gonna take a nap here. All right. So tonight we have not G-Man. So that's always nice. Ronnie went a bit overboard with lying like a lot. Hogtie, something about Ronnie. Hogtie just gets in rare form and just laser guided missiles right at Hogtie's flanks, and it just makes Ronnie flip the fuck out. It's like, how dare you? I mean, Dad, why are you using curse words? I'm so offended. It's wonderful. So there's that, and well, honestly, that's it. Pick your own topic. Other than that, so that's the gist of tonight, and we'll see where it goes. So
that little hangout with Hoggy got worse at the end because he started talking to G-Man using actual words, and that just doesn't work.
So yeah. So hey, everyone. Cliff is hosting the show. So this is Cliff's TST. Enjoy, Cliff.
Of course.
What?
Now, Hogtie.
Now, professionalism from you. Really.
Oh, well, it's not his channel,
Okay,
so
you guys take over a sec. I'm gonna go over this. I'll be right back.
You know, you're in a hangout and you don't turn off your Skype notifications.
That wasn't Skype. That was a Hangout call.
I'm good.
Oh, that was a hangout call.
I'm
Sound like
live
Skype.
right now on TST, but you're not.
or TST-ish.
But we can hear you,
Yeah.
JD.
Yes, yeah, it's that time. Hey, I'm on Cliff Show.
I don't
I'm
think
sure
he
the
was.
audio is going through both because that's
Yes,
the way
yes,
this
it
stuff
is.
works.
Yeah, just call.
Oh well, unfortunately she's next door, but I'll let her know that. Here, I'll tell you what. Let me just max you out here, and
Okay.
all right, recording.
All right. Okay, well, I'll let you go then.
No, I'm recording. You wanted to say happy birthday? I'm recording you right now.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Well, say
kids.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
That's
it's your
a Legacy
birthday.
First Nation.
Very cool. I
I
did
got
not.
this cool little curve skater.
Hold on,
Really?
guys,
Wow.
One at a time. You say your part. Remember, not saying names, but you say your part. You can say, go ahead.
I'm like,
Fiona's,
That's so cool.
it's not. It would be
Oh.
cool, but it's the same day as Jade's birthday.
Jade's birthday. Oh, that's sweet.
I think we didn't get to speak to Jade this year, but that's a whole other story. I'm gonna let you go do your thing. Hi to everybody. Save up your bucks. Buy Jason Byrne's new book. You're going to enjoy it.
Oh, I gotta read this thing.
Documentary of the writing of Jason Byrne's book. Also, you'll never get it out of your head.
I read the introduction. No thanks.
Okay. Oh, here, just to make sure to close it out. You're also saying happy birthday to who?
Jason Burns.
No.
No.
Buy Jason Byrne's book, his documentary on Sam Harris. Also, watch the documentary, the making of the documentary on Sam Harris. It'll stick with you a very long time, I promise.
I
Oh,
know, make you
boy.
laugh.
Oh dear.
So does this mean I'm still the current holder of the award for the only fucking published person that actually hired an editor?
You know, the technology's got-
Enjoy
Have a good night.
enjoy pizza night. See ya.
For the lols, would you like me to screen share that introduction?
Oh,
to
boy.
Oh, good God, no.
It's you've got. I think you muted yourself for something, JD.
Pro tip, if
I
you're a
love
YouTube
that.
hack and you want to publish a book, hire a fucking copy editor. God damn.
So let's see this book cover.
Oh,
It's
God.
got a cover?
No, well, it wasn't the cover.
He's
Oh,
got a
does he
book.
even have a cover, though?
Yeah, but it's got a typo in the cover.
Even better. Show us the cover, Cliff.
Okay.
If you're gonna have typos, you may as well start on the very first page.
This is Wasp on the Moon 2.
Okay. So which one is it? Is it book 1 or book 2? Because he has 2.
Let me see. All right. So Under the Radar.
No,
Meditation
that's not the one.
on Life and Thought.
No, if you look at the other
Thought.
one, the Life and Thought. He's only had one thought, apparently.
We live in a age, not unage. And there's Hogtie. We live in a age of revolution. The West has lost her way. I don't know when West was female, but all right. Islam is on the rise, and the West does not know how to deal with the religion. Jason Burns looks at Saharis, thinking on Islam and other topics of the day. Right? He shows how atheism fails to deal with the problems of the times, and he defends the truth of Christianity. A must-read. Dark days for the West.
I particularly like the first one. Let me zoom in just so it's easier to read for
You read
people.
2 books on the same topic?
Well, this is part 1. The other
Oh,
one is 2.
Why can't it be one book?
Oh,
Actually,
God.
All right, we'll go back to the second
Wait,
one. Let me
wait a
get
second,
the second
hold
one.
on.
Or the
well,
book
it's
one, I mean.
211. I'm not sure what 211 means, but you know.
What's the fucking page count?
All right, well, go
It's
back
a
to the previous book.
Anyways, Cliff, go back to the first one for a second.
Yeah.
All right. The first one, the Kindle edition, is £0 to get it.
Done.
Now go to the second one. Now to find out what happens, you're going to have to pay £3.12.
No. Click on the look inside link on the
Wait,
left.
who's the editor? Dorcas Kuka Kabana Kuka Kabana.
I have.
What the hell is that for an editor?
I
He
looked
had an editor? I'm
Look at
amazed.
this. By Jason Burns and also
JD, you
Dorcas
read it
Kuka
backwards. The
Kabana
Harry
Kuka
Potter
Kabana.
spell.
Oh my god, that's a real name?
I looked this up on Facebook, and I have a feeling that this person doesn't exist and is one of Jason Burns' fake accounts.
I edited my own, but just say author and editor and
Yeah.
distributor and
But
all
I
Let me-
particularly the bit that I love is that the ego in it. This is a game changer.
Yeah, let me just read the thing here. Let's see. This book looks at Sam Harris thought. Okay, that's not no.
Yep.
That's just no. This book looks at Sam Harris thought, giving a fresh look at some important topics of the day, such as radical Islam and evangelical Christianity. And of course, is radical. Why is no right? The book covers a wide range of Sam Harris ideas. Space. The writer makes the case that Christianity can be defended and that much of Sam Harris thinking. Can be defended that much of Harris thinking. That's
No apostrophe. Just keep
Harris
going.
thinking fails to
getting
engage
possessive.
Christianity on a deeper. Oh, he said it on a deeper scholarly level. No space. No space. If you are a Sam Harris fan, you will enjoy the challenge of the Werter.
Obviously,
If you're without the apostrophe, if you're a Christian, it will help you defend your faith against atheism. Those who are thinking about the role of Islam in the West will find Jason's, without the apostrophe, Jason's critical thinking concerning Sam Harris' thought on the topic interesting.
If somebody legitimately edited his work, they deserve to be nominated for fucking sainthood.
Yeah, I
Holy
think-
crap.
Keep
Sure,
going,
I
JD.
there's a letter there, an interesting missing, and why are there 2 periods? This is
It's-
a important book. A. No, this is unimportant. A-N, you fucking dumbass. Jesus Christ. Did he graduate anything? Was he homeschooled by just, I don't know, morons?
I know.
Because this is horrifying. I mean, if you
You know what?
guys
I want to say,
this is not
want to be the first to say it. I'm totally taking credit for this, Joe. It's a tsunami of typos.
This is
I
a
also-
important book.
Why are you making Jay boo?
Wait, I think JD's trying to read this.
Yeah, this is a important book that has taken a number of years to develop. Space. You will not be the same again when you have finished reading it. No space. Get the book and spread it to your friends and family. This is a game changer. There should be a period there. This is a game changer. It's 162 pages.
let's
quadruple spaced with 72 little
Wait,
font.
how many? Does it actually give a page count?
I've not actually looked at this, so I'm just curious. About
I'm just guessing he doesn't do outlines. He just kind of streams bullshit.
I was just
I
wondering
just-
if it has a page count. It might be a fucking pamphlet.
Pastor.
JD, I just realized something. The little video clip here that Hogtie was playing, I thought was on a loop. It's not.
No, I've had to actually put some effort into it. I had to put the timestamp in the URL.
No.
And-
It's Jason Burns bends over several times. I thought that part was a loop.
No, it's a great documentary. This is not even the funniest part. Tsunami of typos, and I'm just trying to keep talking for the longest so I can just keep this on the screen for as long as I possibly can.
Wait a minute. This introduction has been written by Dorcas Kukua Kobina, right?
Well, let's go look at it. See
does
how well
that-
she writes.
But does that mean that they've got a typo in the editor's name on the front?
Yeah,
Or-
where they
or
put
is- or is the editor's name a typo?
Oh,
Like
hang
all
on a
of it.
second. Wait. Scroll to the very top of this. Scroll to the very fucking top.
this.
Yeah, we want to go past your cover page, go down a little bit more.
Yeah, but what if I the editor bit, right?
Down a little more. Keep going. Whoop. Nope.
No, it's the previous page.
Pre-reface.
No. You did not include a copyright page. It's not copywritten.
Oh,
Right,
Of course it's
there's
not.
there's the editor on that one. Look at the editor's name in the other book. It's a typo.
which one? Kobina?
No, they've accidentally repeated it. The name is
Yeah, we
Dorcas
noticed that.
Kukua Kobina,
Kukua Kabana.
but they've repeated Kukua Kobina again.
Ah,
Ay.
They haven't even man. Oh, for God's
but I do wanna just. I haven't looked at this at all yet, but I just.
The top of and bottom of every page, it should state that it's copywritten, but you didn't include a copyright page.
What the fuck is this? Look,
It's called a space, Cliff.
Is he doing it every single one?
Yeah.
Think so.
Okay. You know how some books have that really pretty font for the first letter? That's what he's trying to do here. Now, whether he has that font on his side or not is questionable, because clearly the font is not on the client side, or sorry, not on the receiving side.
It is
Meaning
called-
if he
That or
tried
you-
doing
or
that,
either
then
that-
it's not a font that's supported by Amazon.
It is
Either
called.
that or you have to hand draw it in later.
It's
He's
called.
leaving your room.
It's called an ornate drop cap. See, this show is educational.
Wait,
Well,
stop,
yes, it
Cliff.
is, but
Scroll-
that only
scroll
counts if
back.
you have the right font for it, though.
Scroll
So,
back.
are we going to get a little bit of the reading of this?
Yeah, one
Oh,
moment,
God,
Fiona.
no.
Let's scroll back to the beginning of these paragraphs here.
I'm looking for commas.
Okay, he goes like double space
Yeah,
and scroll down. Just keep scrolling down.
and then
Scroll down. Yeah, and then he goes single space.
Oh no!
I want to know: does it go back to double space?
Didn't Brett Keene's book do that? And it was all centered as well.
I think we should nickname this "Rust on the Moon."
And
I've got to say that they actually have a really good EPUB app. None of this shit should be like that. The
All right,
app
you
is so fucking stupid easy.
He can't put a double space after a period.
Oh,
well, he
no,
put double space.
we-
No, sorry, notice that when he mentioned Sam Harris's book, so "End of Faith," which should be italicized because it's a book title, but he puts like "end space of space faith" on some occasions. Yeah, it's weird. There are just so many little wacky typos. I
Typos. Yeah.
You know what? I'm curious here. So I wonder if all this bit here is just copy pasted off Wikipedia.
I wouldn't be
Oh,
surprised.
Yeah, if you
Take a chunk of it and
Yep.
just copy
Yeah.
paste it and Google it.
Yeah,
Google-
definitely fucking do that. 'Cause
And
Yeah.
see, after that, could you please go and check
You
the
can't-
references at the back and see if he's managed to reference his hard drive?
Are you expecting references?
That cannot be beaten. That cannot be beaten. Sorry, I was pausing. The other one I noticed, and this is so there are parts that would not be copied from some other source. Nazism, Naziism.
Oh, God, for goodness sake.
The Brits are a fan of the extra U, but the randomly inserted E is a rare creature.
I'm ready to weep. This is his scholarly work.
Cliff, I'm sorry, but he's all yours. You can blame nobody at all for Jason Burns. He's all yours.
Well, I can blame him for himself.
No, I'm gonna say he's all yours.
Oh gosh. Well, it is a part of the topic of epistemology. You can't talk about epistemology unless you set out your opponent's ideas in their way and engage with the best of their thinkers. Oh dear.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say something. I'm going to say he had his rough time here, but he's smarter than our current crop because he went on. He did what makes him happy. He said years ago he was going to write this book about Sam Harris. He's gone ahead and he's done it. He's got it out there. He's not driving himself crazy, talking to us and doing crazy stuff, not like the current crop we're dealing with. And where is that book written by DPR Jones? Huh? Nowhere. Once again, Jason Burns has one DPR Jones.
Jason Burns 1, DPR Jones 0.
Oh, God.
Right. Exactly.
He won.
I just swallowed the wrong way. I damn near choked myself to death.
What I love about this is, he rattles on about something or other and then just says, these are books I like. Look, I like these books. And so he just has...
Okay, put a link for that in the sidebar. I want to take
Wait a minute. Are those books actually reference? Or does he just put his library in there?
It looks like he's just taken some bits. You know what? I think this would have fit in this bit here, so I'm just going to dump these here.
Oh, for God's
It's like, yeah, just
sake.
read these books.
Oh, I want to
Doing a
cry.
search, I couldn't even fucking find it. Oops. Yeah, doing a search, I can't even find his fucking name on Amazon. What the hell?
Here's something. I'm just gonna unshare for a second.
No,
We're back in a
Not
minute.
to share, just to-
Hog Tie, we want the link to the book, not the link to the video.
Yeah, no shit.
I think a link to the book.
I thought you were asking for a link to the.
No, we've seen his dumbass before.
So here's something I just want to. Here's something I kind of find interesting. You probably noticed that there are people here who are advocates for science and reason and secular thought,
And for coherent writing.
And while we'll of course cite sources, like we got some of this from them, the person saying it is clearly intelligent. Like Hog Tie will cite other sources, but it's clear that Hog Tie himself is pretty smart. Same with most of the people on here, like Cliff and Fiona, and obviously myself. I'm a freaking genius. But in general, when you run into people who are advocating science and reason and secular thinking, you run into people who are noticeably intelligent. Like you can tell, like it doesn't take long to talk to them to go, oh, not only do they know their stuff, but I mean, what do you call it? Like they can acquire knowledge quickly and easily and can learn higher things without much effort. And then when we talk to people who evangelize for one or another form of Southern Baptist, evangelical, whatever, Christianity usually, you're not dealing with the heavy thinkers. I mean, if anyone's watched an Ernie Deaver video, you know very quickly that there's not a lot going on up there. And that's not meant as an insult. It's just an observation. And of course, we can make the same one with everyone in the CCP. With Jason Burns, it's quite obvious that Jason does not. He's slow. That's just for whatever reason he's a little slow.
Well, in fairness,
and that just seems to be so many evangelical apologists, at least ones that have been doing it for a while that have not learned any better. They tend to be on the. I just don't run into the thoughtful, smart ones. I run into Trey Jadlow. Admitted, like, I don't know damn thing. I'm retarded. I have no brains up here. All I do is watch videos of that one dude and I repeat them. So where are they? There's got to be a couple of them out there. What's the one Calvinist? Stevens. Jimmy Stevens. He seems like he's reasonably smart. Like he can present the stuff eloquently, and it sounds like he's actually trying to learn more. To which I assume, like when he comes back here in 5 years, going, "Yeah, I'm an atheist." That's usually what happens. The really smart ones, if they go and they get educated, they come back going, "Yeah, I found out that Bob Jones University was nonsense, and I learned how to really critically read the Bible, and that a lot of it isn't necessarily true." And they go the route of Bart Ehrman, when they eventually, what they call backslide.
Well, that famous story that Noah fellow, who was quite a good apologist, and that was one thing everybody said was, "Wow, he's just so untypically smart for an online apologist." And then he disappears for a couple of years, and then he does a video where he's like, "Oh, so I'm an atheist now." And everyone, "Oh, okay." But you know what? Let's not harshly judge Jason Burns based on what we're seeing on the internet of this book, because it is entirely possible that this presentation of his book was hacked by the same people who hacked True Empiricism's website.
No, not the way they do the uploads.
Yeah, that sounds more likely than Jason Burns is just a moron who can't read for shit.
I'd have to agree with Hogtie. It does have the same MO. Like, look at all the typos.
Yeah, exactly. It's very familiar.
You would have had to have hacked his actual author account and re-uploaded it after recompiling it.
There are very skilled people on the internet who can do those things.
I'm going to go buy Pete's Ingredients. Someone in the side chat explained to Shadow Heathens how that joke worked. Good night, all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget the pineapple, Hogtie.
Definitely pineapple. Sorry, I got a real quick question. People from other countries of the world here. Do you not put pineapple on your pizza?
I like pineapple on pizza. Don't care what Matthew says.
Nobody
heard somebody-
Fabio.
Okay, I responded to your email.
I spotted it. Yes.
Yes, have you recovered?
No, I'm good.
You've
I'm
recovered.
good. I had a very video-based education, so I was trained in a place that doesn't have many interesting diseases, so I'm good.
I just wondered if you've recovered from my description.
See some shit, yeah. But no, the pineapple thing was the and I'll respond later. The pineapple thing. I heard recently that the pineapple on pizza is like a weird Canadian thing, and I'm like, yeah, of course the Canadians are putting the national fruit of Canada, the pineapple. Well, I don't understand. I'm gonna go buy some pineapple though. Okay, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
I was gonna say hacker. I don't know any hackers. Don't look at me.
Oh boy. So are we going to have a wee read of the preface?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. Let me just find it again.
Just to see how wonderfully illuminating it is.
Okay, let's screen share
What the fuck did he do?
Okay.
Right.
So the preface is his supposed editor writing nice things about him?
So, would you like to read it out, Fiona?
Okay. Preface for the reader. It gives me great pleasure and joy to introduce you to a worker for the Lord whose zeal and labour is outstanding. I love Pastor Small P, Jason, for his love for the truth. Since the beginning of man's existence in the Garden of Eden, Satan has been using every weapon, every tactic, and every strategy to hinder God's truth and his will from being fulfilled on earth. Throughout the ages, he has lied, deceived, and blinded the eyes of men from seeing the truth. This is what engages the heart of Pastor Capital P, Jason Burns, in this book. Who is to be blamed? I've lost it. Oh yeah, who is to be blamed for the crisis the world? Who is to be blamed for the crisis the world face today?
Boy, that editor is doing a crack job.
What is
And
the
this was
meaning
written
of
by the
these?
fucking editor.
What is the meaning of these? What is the meaning of these times? Satan's effort to misrepresent the character of God is still at work. Those who fail to recognize Satan and his
If you say God, that does sound a bit more Jason Burnsy.
I can't do his accent.
I don't understand the line. Satan's effort to is that in the Bible somewhere? Satan is misrepresenting an effort. Is that a thing? Because I don't.
Just said Satan's effort to misrepresent the character of God is still at work. Those who fail to recognize Satan and his strategies will not be able to stand. They will be deceived. To unfold the scenes of the To unfold the scenes of the controversies between truth and error. To reveal the wiles of Satan, not putting blame on religions. Pastor Jason Burns pulls us out from the pit of lies and calls us away from useless controversies back to the Bible to know the truth, and also ripping the mask off and exposing Satan as never before.
I'll just scroll up. Oh, nearly done.
The details are masterfully presented to you in this great book, Under the Radar. I invite you to read it. Dorcas Kukua Kobana, Jesus Girl Ministry.
Jesus, maybe it is a real person who's also just as dim as Jason Burns is.
Oh,
Jesus
Lord.
Girl. I look up Jesus Girl Ministry. I'm sure there's 20,000 of them.
There aren't any. I looked. I couldn't find a
There aren't any.
thing. Not a thing. You can.
What about his Sam Harris Thought book? What's the start of that like?
Which one? Sorry.
The one about his Sam Harris Thought.
Oh, well, that's this.
I mean, there are so many people with their own ministries that it's really just one guy with a camera.
Right.
Like,
So is this
G-Man's Ministries? Like, yeah, it's just G-Man. There's no one else. He doesn't have a flock. It's just one guy.
Well,
being
I looked up this name, and all I could find was a Facebook thing, and it's got Jason Burns on there, and some other bits and bobs.
right, is that River of Blood?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, maybe it's not Enoch Powell Strikes Again. What? Scroll up, will you?
Oh. Or down.
No,
God damn it, I wish I could fucking highlight this shit.
down so I can read it.
Oh, okay.
Right, a news reporter. Awesome.
Passers-by? Is that a word? I'm pretty sure.
It is. Yeah,
Like-
passers-by.
Sabella actually found something. That's awesome.
Oh, it isn't. At least it isn't pure out plagiarism.
So yeah, for those who don't know, Sabella is linked in the chat. She found a video of Dorcas Kukua Kabana, who, as she says, English is clearly not her first language, and the video is, well, awful.
Yeah, Cliff. I even found a blog here called Kuka Dorcas Jesus Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I am Dorcas Kuka Kabana, a blogger and writer, and I love to read and write, and it is my vision to encourage young women like me using the word of God. And of course, I haven't clicked the link yet, so I don't know what else it says.
Yeah, I mean, she's either like foreign or 4 years old. This is just
I'd hate to think that Jason met this person on the street.
Well, the more I thought, the more I heard news of Muslim extremists. What? Well, the more
I'm
I
sure
thought,
when they met on the street, she probably said, "Hi, I am is the love of Jesus." You.
I've been in a couple writing-related discords and met freaking 6-year-old fanfic writers that have better writing than this.
So the more I thought, the more I heard news of Muslim extremists. How does thinking mean you hear more?
Yeah.
Is this voices in his head?
Yeah, it's like the start of Ghostbusters, you know.
Yeah, blowing up airports and shooting police.
Bad.
Wait, hold it. The more I thought, the more I heard news of Muslim extremists driving lorries into people, blowing up airports and shooting police, the more I realised the West was in deep crisis. The West seemed unwilling to realise a Trojan horse had entered into its nation states. With an ideology more deadly than Hitler's, without an apostrophe, Nazism.
That is not how you spell that.
No.
Oh God, he doesn't.
What's the capital P for in political?
He doesn't use Word. He must. He doesn't use Microsoft Word or any editing software. He probably just uses Notepad.
was going to say it's Notepad.
In the words of my editor, as well as my wife, obey the squiggly red line.
Yeah. Well, there isn't any squiggly red line on Notepad.
Well,
wait,
in
13.
fucking Word or anything, there sure as fuck would. Hell,
13, you mean that in the Bible, when they have those words highlighted in red, which everyone attributes to the words of Jesus, are you saying those are just typos?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, you just bad. I mean, you just load fucking Grammarly, you'll get the red lines even in WordPad.
Yeah, I know about this one here, this Michael Over one. This is the one where he basically got taken to court for hate speech, because we do actually have laws against that. You know, but it's like, oh, just because you used the Bible. No, because he was being offensive to somebody.
But y'all also have some really weird hate speech laws over there too, if I recall correctly.
Well, yeah, the problem is it all comes on to how someone else interprets it, as opposed to, you know, whether it is.
Thank the Lord, Jesus H. Love him, Christ. Thank you. Hello. Welcome to Cliff Tuesday.
I was just trying to say, this guy who's writing this, now he's not a young guy, and he's horrified at all of this. It's the Muslims and all. He's lived through an age in the UK where we had IRA bombs blowing up in shopping centres on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So does he not see the problem with saying that it's only ever Muslims?
Mm-hmm.
Does he not see a problem there?
No, Fiona, no. You're
What
wrong.
are we going to do today, Patrick? We're going to blow the shite out of the local mall. Hey, good.
I mean, was it today or yesterday was the anniversary of the Omagh bombing?
Yeah.
Where the bride got the bride to be out shopping for her wedding dress, got both her legs blown off.
I see River of Blood is going to spill down in the West in the next 20 years.
Has anybody ever seen that video of a shop where a bomb had been thrown in? They were removing the bodies with a shovel.
Yeah.
Well,
A shovel.
Yeah.
I mean, a vacuum cleaner wouldn't do the job.
Well, no, it was all the bones that were broken, but the flesh was still there, so it was just like a big jelly mold thing. It was horrible.
Boy, it's happy days in the summer here, boy.
But that's what I'm saying.
JD, stop talking to your wife, for Christ's sakes. You're either in the show or you're not.
If you're going to say, oh, it's only Muslims that are doing this, and you've lived
Talking
in
to their
the
wife?
UK,
Sorry, my daughter.
and you've lived in the UK, and you've lived through that.
Yeah, yet another idiot from the fucking community decided to put out a book. Jason Burns this time. Yet another case of somebody that can't even fucking punctuate or, yeah.
Well, you got to wonder who his ghostwriter is.
I think his ghostwriter might be an actual ghost.
It's the Holy Ghost Writer.
Holy ghostwriter.
Did
Can't do
anybody
any
manage?
James
Did
Bible.
anybody do a search of that paragraph that is single spaced, that is written okay, to find out if it comes from anywhere else?
Yeah, I'm not sure about this because, to be honest, he experimented with drugs as a part of exploration into religious experiences. That sounds like he's trying to poison the well a bit there. So that sounds like, you know.
Has anybody done the search?
No.
Right, hold on. Right, okay.
I bet he doesn't have permission to use that image of Sam Harris either.
Right, hold
Does
on.
anyone remember back when Sam Harris gave him a call?
Hang on. Look, I don't. I think he's written this because it was 1986. He entered Stanford University. It writes things like that.
I'm afraid to ask, but who are we talking about?
Jason Burns.
Jason Burns has written.
Jason Burns writing a book about Sam Harris.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
He's
what
written
we're
it,
gonna
he's
get?
published it.
For some reason, it has not become known to Sam Harris that this book is written, so he has not replied. But I'm sure Sam is right now writing 400 pages in response to Jason Burns' scathing rhetoric against his. Is there an argument yet? Can you scroll down to like where he actually has an argument of some sort?
Oh my fucking god, I just realized what the dipshit did. Okay, when you're actually starting a chapter, you're supposed to space down like the first 10 lines or something like that. He double spaced the first 10 lines at the start of every chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, this is bad.
Have you got it written down yet, Fiona?
Now I've written no results found for that. That's a shame. I was looking for, after only 2 years study, he left university and travelled to India.
That's a simple formatting thing.
You know, in the old days when Jason was around making videos, there were 3 kinds of videos he could make, and you could always tell what was going on. So, the first type of video was him complaining about atheists, and he'd be talking to the camera, and you'd see him, and he'd just be rattling on, and probably said the same thing 3 or 4 times. So instead of making a 5-minute video, it turned into a 20-minute video of him saying the same thing 4 times, just in slightly different words. Then there were the videos that he'd ripped off other people. So he just pinched them off some evangelical website, dumped them on his channel with no attribution of where they came from. And that was why his channel was shut down, despite what he says that the atheists shut down his channel. And then the third version is him plagiarizing other people's stuff. He's either reading a book or, and you can always tell, that he's just got a picture on the screen. So it'll be some picture of, you know, John Wesley or something, and then he'll be rattling off, and and you can tell he's reading. So he's reading something.
Can I just say?
Then you just type in a bit, and you can find the website that he's literally plagiarizing it off, and he's scholarly material.
I want to mention: is anyone else just kind of tired of this?
Yeah.
Like, when are we gonna get someone worth talking to? I can't remember the last time I talked to evangelical or anyone religious. I mean, obviously Fiona is an exception, Jay, etc. But anyone evangelical and like serious about how, you know, arguments against atheism and stuff. I can't remember the last time I met one that was worth talking to, that had any level of intelligence worth, you know, dealing with.
You're probably going to have to wait another 20 years, JD, because that's about how often Precept gets dusted off and tried again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Jimmy Stevens, last one, he's reasonably intelligent. We had one on the show who's a Catholic, like last year or the year before. But then there wasn't much in the way of arguing. You know, it was kind of cool that he knew who Quine was when talking with Ozzy, and that was about it. Never really got into any nitty gritty.
JD, here's the problem with what you're asking for. The people who are educated, who typically are the educated ones who know what they're talking about, they have other shit to do other than sit here on the internet and argue with us.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, you can only talk to like G-Man and Ronnie so many times before you just get frustrated and just like...
talking shit, they may have to start talking other shit.
Yeah.
We may have to branch out we may have to branch out to political shit.
Yeah.
Social shit.
Even though
there you go, get some wackadoodles.
Even though the show is flagged, I mean, or the original show was flagged, this is still just kind of a light week. So I don't think we're going to go much past the 1 hour mark. Like we kind of hit everything that happened. There's just, it's right now the well is dried up a little bit.
Well,
so until someone else comes on a scene, and I really don't want to replace this with fucking race realism. That's not.
No.
It's not going to be my thing. That doesn't deserve.
How about Flat Earth? You want to talk about Flat Earth?
We do have one thing that happened this week that was interesting and utterly bloody hilarious, in that Ronnie kicked his own arse again.
That's true. The whole Ronnie thing on Red's channel was wonderful.
No, it's not just that, JT. What is, if you were actually watching this unfold as it unfolded, first of all, we have Ronnie admit, I flagged the video, and Red had already shared as the OP the actual thing from YouTube saying that there had been a privacy strike. And True Empiricism piped up in that thread. It was me that done it. It was me what done it. So then Hogtie goes live, and he goes through the steps of filing a privacy complaint, and he shows categorically that you cannot file a privacy complaint on behalf of someone else. It has to be a first-party complaint. Mm-hmm. After Hogtie's hangout, Ronnie then suddenly starts saying, I flagged it for harassment. It wasn't privacy, it was harassment. After post after post after post of him saying he'd flagged it for privacy and that this was a privacy issue. After Hogtie's hangout, he changes it to harassment because he realises that he can't file a privacy complaint. But there's a problem to that one. He can't file a harassment claim on behalf of anybody else either. That has to be a first-party complaint as well. So he thinks that by telling Porky's, he's got himself out of the hole of it being a false flag. And all he's done is admit to yet a different false flag. He kicked his own arse.
Yeah, he just keeps digging it deeper. We have video evidence. I mean, that it was a privacy strike, and he's like, "Oh no, it was harassment, and it was harassing other people." Like, no, you're lying, and we know you're lying, and again, this is another problem with dealing with people who are, unfortunately, not very bright. Is that they do really stupid shit, and when they try to defend it, it just gets hilariously worse.
Yes.
And so with Ronnie, I mean, every single time Ronnie's lied, we know it quickly. Like, wow, that's you're not covering very well. Your lies need to be such that people can't easily catch you by referencing the very fucking video you're in right now. Okay, you can't lie. You can't say one thing at the beginning of the video and another thing at the end and expect no one to notice.
Mm-hmm.
You think that just be common sense, but nope.
Oh my God.
He still thinks he can get away with it, and then when he fails, he gets really upset. And Hogtie, he's just all curses and awful. It's terribly so mean to me.
Oh, that was all because Hogtie Champ caught him out. Totally.
Yeah, and then he started with the bullshit, and then Hogtie just called him out on it.
Yeah.
Even further.
And that's when Ronnie loses his cool. And that's why, I mean, you know, Ronnie's been going. He called me out again for a debate, and I've been saying for how long I don't do debates, but I do discussions, but I won't do one with him because he cannot discuss. He loses his cool, and off he goes with the horrible personal attacks, and he demonstrated it beautifully against it, and that's why he's not worth even trying to have a discussion with. He's no control when he realizes that he's not doing too well.
Did anybody?
He's a pussy.
Did anybody download his Hangout from last night?
Yep.
No, is it gone already?
Not only is it gone,
we pussy.
Everything till July 2017. His
You
new
tell him.
his True
Is that on his True Talk?
his True Talk channel.
It what?
A year ago, and 4 weeks ago, his Human Zoos trailer on his main channel.
What?
Does he still have the Please Help video up though?
Oh, that's gone. That was gone. That was gone on
Finally.
after I pointed out that it was actually a fraud.
Actually, we called him out for it live on Red's thing, and it was still up there for like a day or two after.
Well, it was something that I mentioned. What was it? Saturday. Yeah.
That would have been after we confronted him on Red's then, because it was up there. I think yesterday is when I checked last, or the day before.
Whoa.
The one on Reds was the video where he was showing him, you know, it was the fraud thing, and so I followed it up with my own video, and then after
Cliff,
that, I think, yeah,
Cliff, the last. There are only 5 videos on True Talk TV.
Yeah.
5. All of them from 1 year ago. Recent one was
How many are there?
Tune I made up on my guitar.
Yeah.
It says there's 108 videos.
Wait,
if you go to the homepage of the channel, this channel doesn't have any content.
Yeah.
JD, have you heard anything from MK?
He every time I comment on one of his threads, he deletes it.
Oh, nice.
Because I am I don't know, slanderer or some shit. Basically, I'm not nice to him because he's a piece of shit human being, and so I don't feel compelled to be nice to him. I mean, let's face it, this is the guy that flagged Skylar's channel for not being a real person because Jesus is a real person. So it's like we're not again. That's another example of we're dealing with. In this case, he's an idiot, but he's also mentally ill. Like obviously mentally ill. Like the fucker doesn't.
Yep.
Like, all right, there's something going on out there.
Yep.
Because he actually thought that Darwin's deity had good arguments to present. So
sorry, JD, can you say that again about Skylar not being a real person?
Yeah, well, Skylar apparently is not a real person because Jesus is a real person. He knows Jesus, and Skylar somehow that connects to Skylar not being a real person. So
because Jesus touched him and Skylar fiction didn't.
I guess I don't know. Again, I mean, this is a guy who it seems
show us on the Bible where Jesus touched you.
MK seems to actually hear voices.
Deuteronomy.
You know, so I mean, while G-Man and Ronnie are douchebags in their own right, and other members of the CCP, they don't claim to have actually heard God talking to them directly. It's like I hear His words through reading the Bible and prayer and whatever. MK, I think, is actually hearing voices and equating them to God, which is honestly
no.
not
MK looks at his cell phone, sees 4 numbers in a cross pattern, and goes, that's a sign from God.
No. That's Benny Ocean. You're mixing the two.
No, that is.
And he also thinks
MK.
that obviously Russians have hacked his phone to give him information about.
Never forget the night he first lost his mind, and I was the brunt of it. I'll never forget.
Were you there for the whole clock bit?
Yeah, that was. If you remember that hangout, that was me. He was screaming at each other. He and me were screaming at each other over it.
Well, yeah. I was upset with him too. Well, not so much upset, just like, God, I wish you were making some sense. Grab it.
He's all like, Gus, normally you're really smart, but I don't understand why you can't see what's going on behind the scenes here. Why you can't see the greater situation here. What's going on? Like, I don't understand. And eventually, I just lost it on his ass.
Okay, Gus, the reason why you can't see what's going on behind the scenes is you're not wearing your idiot goggles.
Well, I mean,
you gotta put on your tinfoil hat.
I realize it got bad.
Before that, it's important to remember that literally just before that, Benny was considered a stable, normal member of our community. And then he just went squitz-ka-poing, and it was just gone.
Well, it was when he did the thing about half the moon being missing.
That was later, yeah.
It was just after it, and everybody said, "Look, I'm looking at the moon now. It's there, and none of it's missing.
I can't see the back of it. Who knows?" Yeah, he was high.
He insisted there was a great big chunk of the moon missing.
He was high in that case.
Did we
but the real one, as Gus mentioned, was with the clock. It was the kid who made a clock that they thought was a bomb, and he got into trouble. So the thing is, he started off fine. He started off making good sense. Like, okay, yeah, it does seem like, okay, you're right. His dad is political, so maybe he did this on purpose in some way. Perhaps, it might be something like that. But he kept going. He kept taking it one step further. Like, well, that connects to this. Like, oh, hold on, wait, you haven't really quite connected it to this other stuff. Well, then, and that's when he would get immediately defensive and claim that we just haven't learned as much as he has. He's done so much more research. And that we should know better. We should just trust him. And he would keep going and then trying to tie things into stuff that really made no sense. And that's where he just kind of went off the rails.
Yeah.
Likely, again, due to mental illness as well. Because, he still posts, but now he actually believes that whataboutism isn't a fallacy. Which, let's face it, whataboutism is just another way of – it's just a red herring. It's like, well, rather than talk about what you're talking about, I'm going to bring up something completely unrelated. Like – The common joke is, but Hillary's emails. Anytime you bring up something like, Trump, raped a midget. Yeah, raped a midget. 2 of them, and then murdered them and hide their bodies. Oh yeah, well, what about Hillary's emails? All right, she had emails, and it's Hillary. Like, of course, that's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. Does that have anything to do with midgets? No. So why are we
having midgets by the pussy, right, left, and center?
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with what they're talking about. He actually read it. He found one article by some guy. He basically is like, well, I found something that agrees with me, and that's what I wanted. And so he keeps citing this one article that says, whataboutism isn't really a bad thing. Yes, it is. It's you not discussing the actual topic. That's bad.
Yeah, I remember that.
The actual topic.
I remember the night we went after each other, hammer and tongs, and fucking Hogtie Champ was barely able to split us apart because I would have torn him open.
Yeah. It's frustrating, but then, once you realize he's obviously ill, it's still hard because he's a little bit of a douchebag about it too. So you want to land him. And also, despite being mentally ill, Benny's smart.
Yep.
We just don't have enough smart people who are wrong to talk to. And that's, honestly.
If they were smart, they wouldn't be wrong.
Well, no, he's wrong for different reasons. He's wrong because he's done what some people who are sane do, which is they pick one piece of information and they get stuck on some narrative. And they don't realize it, but they're trying to find stuff to conform to that narrative, and it just keeps piling up until they feel that they've got this massive amount of evidence confirming a belief they had prior.
I mean, we could always go and get what's his face.
Yeah, it's like they feel like they've got a really strong case that say, well, what's in Benny's case, that there was no Russian collusion. Like he's got enough evidence, he's proven that there was no Russian collusion, and so any evidence you present has to, run through this giant wall of hundreds of sources that he believes he has that show that it's wrong.
Yeah, Roman.
The thing is, you might have 5,000 sources, but he only takes them one at a time. So it's like a machine gun against a wall. It's like you might have 1,000 shells, but each one just bounces off every time. He's not getting through. If only you could get them all at once, but then people who present it all at once, there's also that other mechanism where people don't want to change their beliefs, and so it backfires. They just become more convinced of their beliefs. The Raw Atheist has been presenting lots of stuff about this. He has been studying this thoroughly, and he has link after link, evidence after evidence, like everything he can possibly find. He presents. It's like here's the collusion. It's now public. Here's where he said this. He admits that his son went there to talk to a Russian agent for information on Hillary. He says it was no big deal. Everyone does it. He's wrong, and then says nothing came of it. Doesn't matter. And then we go back in the record. He shows, oh, look, he lied about that meeting. That is obstruction of justice. So there you have it. There's the case. He lays it out, and he adds more. He has references for all this stuff. Like, here's the stuff. Here's Trump's own words. And Benny loses his fucking mind. He wants to bring up Hillary. He just can't take it. Like, obviously, this needs to be wrong because Benny has all this other evidence. He's got all he's got Kate. Look, he's got this link to InfoWars that clearly says that it was some other thing. It was obviously the aliens from Alpha Centauri that are really responsible. Whatever. It's just nonsense.
Don't forget there was that thread I think he started with, is it possible for someone to talk about Trump and not mention Hillary?
You think that would be possible because let's face it, how many times have I brought up Trump when someone mentions Hillary? I have never done that. And the fact is, I was not a big fan. I mean, I know people who are. I'm not a fan of Hillary. I didn't like that she kind of stole things from Bernie Sanders, who I preferred. And just in general, I think she would not have been a good candidate. I don't like dynasties. I didn't like George W. Bush, even if I liked his politics, which I didn't. But if I had, I'd rather not have a dynasty. And same thing with the wife of a former president becoming president. I would rather not have that. So I didn't vote for. I wouldn't have voted for her unless, she was facing Trump, so I had to. It's one of those lesser of two evils. Except one of them is you can't fathom how they would possibly win, and they did.
This is why.
Speaking of which, on a completely unrelated note, everyone go and watch The Good Fight. If anyone, to be honest, I'm pimping this for a second, so give me a moment. The show stars Leonard's mother from Big Bang Theory. So if you remember Leonard's mother, yeah, she's hilarious. In this though, she's not. She's funny in this, but mostly it's semi-serious. She's great in it. It's basically an R-rated version of The Good Wife, which finally ran its course after 7 seasons. It's an offshoot where she takes over, goes to another firm. The thing is, it's pure liberal jerking off. It's really, they talk about Trump constantly. They talk about the issues we're dealing with, where things just seem insane, like we're accepting things that we shouldn't. And she basically expresses feelings that many of us have had. Many of us who are already relatively liberal and just cannot believe where America is going. This works for people in other countries too, where America is going. And that is expressed well in the show. And also, it's just kind of nice to hear it. I admit there's a bit of confirmation bias. You're just hearing a whole lot of things you already believe anyway, but it feels nice and it's done very well. So everyone go watch it. There's 2 seasons of it. It's on CBS All Access, or you can pirate it. That would be wrong. Don't do that.
There's a funny thing.
I just finished the last episode that's out. It's 2 seasons worth. There are 14 episode seasons, kind of like the UK does. And it's wonderful. Watch it. If you're a Republican, you're going to hate this show so much. It's like watching The West Wing. If you're a diehard Republican, you really aren't going to enjoy The West Wing. They're just going to shit all over you for 7 seasons. Don't do it.
I saw something amusing because when you were saying about how things that weren't normal seem to be okay now, and that's kind of disturbing, it reminds me of something I learned when I studied communism at college in as a part of history. And it was during the Vietnam War. The CIA basically tried to make out that some rival politician that they didn't want to get into the South Vietnamese government. They decided to slander the guy and, you know, say that he was having an affair and stuff like that, which was true. It was true. Something like that in Western democracies would finish off any candidate. But in that part of the world, it's like, oh, he can get some cheap totty? Excellent. Well done to him, you know, that kind of thing. And now we have Trump having all these affairs with porn stars, etc., etc. And all this stuff is coming out. And now we don't really care because, yeah, this is what Trump does. That's kind of worrying.
Yeah, well, that was predicted to happen.
I was just watching the external, and I know I need glasses, but is Warning talking about a crap he took today?
Well, I mean, Warning is out there. Warning, feel free to come in. If you need a link, I think Isabella can provide it.
Oh, dear.
I mean, honestly, I have not had like a serious talk with Warning. So I'd like to actually give that a shot, although I mean, probably not gonna last too long, but I don't know anything about the guy.
I don't think he took a crap today. I don't know.
Yeah, if he's willing to join, I'm curious.
Weird thing for him and Sam to be talking about, but okay. I must have read something wrong.
Just don't talk about how Jews are evil, because then we'll get flagged, and it's a real pain in the ass. It's kind of funny. I mean, just to bring up the strike on my channel, the Alex Jones one, it got flagged for hate speech, despite the fact that the guy, what's his name, like Deconstructed, whatever, something Patriot, he actually did not present any hate speech. He presented beliefs about Jews that were false. But he's like, he doesn't actually hate Jews. He thinks they're trying to destroy the world. But hey, you're allowed thinking that. That's not actually racist or bigoted. That's just false. I mean, if you did, like, you know, Jews smell funny, that's why I hate them, or something like that. Okay, that's a different thing.
Careful, JD. Careful. You're getting into the yellow zone here.
Anyway, it's funny that we got flagged for that when even the race realist wasn't really being racist.
I think it was more that you were talking about Alex Jones, and some people got butthurt about that whole thing.
Yeah, apparently we got linked somewhere on the 4chan. I was corrected. Apparently it's a different board than the B board. I like the B board. But yeah, we think they probably did a bit of a flag board.
I think it was done because you had said, well, Alex Jones, he breached terms of service, so YouTube as a private company.
It's so uncontroversial, though. Of course he broke terms of service. That's why he was booted. You think YouTube would throw him off for
no, Jay. That's not why. That's not why. It's because, you know, blah, 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 liberal agenda, blah, 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 blah. You're not the talking point.
I think that's why you got flagged.
2 words, fanatical following.
Because it was a case of, well, let's just get...
I got to correct you, Fiona. I got to correct you. We actually found where our show was linked to a 4chan board where they was like, let's go flag this guy. So they weren't even trying to hide. They weren't even trying to hide. Like, yeah, let's go flag this guy. But they're beating up one of our brothers in Jew hatred.
Okay, 4chan, next time you have to remember to delete the post after.
Are you inside the tuna can?
Fucking amateurs.
Anyway, looks like Warring is not coming in. That's fine. So, see, I don't have anything witty to say. I'm running on empty here. It was a slow week. Ronnie, he's heard this plenty of times. Cliff, I think you can agree, but Ronnie can go fuck himself.